Welcome everyone to our first deck check of a donation deck list. So big shout out here to Celestial Heathen for providing our channel with support and giving us this cool donation deck list. I haven't made a lot of matches with Reanimator because it's not a deck I own completely in real life, but I did like maybe 10 to 15 games on Magic Online with it. And I'm in general pretty hyped about this deck because this was a deck I remember from my childhood giving us nightmares at the kitchen table. There were exactly the creatures like Symbiotic Worm, Verdant Force, Phantomi Shoba, and Angel of Wrath with the combination of Animate Dead, Exhume, Dark Ritual, Duress, Reanimate, and Carbon Therapy. So from this core, this is I would say a pretty stock list of Reanimator, but there are some special choices. The first one is that Celestial Heathen is playing 4 Unmask rather than 4 Portrait Imp. And I really like this idea to have this strong card to pick something from your opponent's hand, or you can even pitch a card, choose yourself as a target, discard a creature, and then reanimate it turn 1. So I'm pretty hyped to try the Unmask. And for the reason that the Portrait Imp is a sole discard outlet in most cases, I think it's a swap you can make pretty well. Other thing I was noticing was the very streamlined creature suit with 4 Akroma Angel of Wrath, 4 Phantomi Shoba, 2 Symbiotic Worm, and the Verdant Force. As I played the deck some months ago, I was trying some things like Spirit of the Night or Visara the Dreadful. And the sideboard plays 3 copies of the recently unbanned card Show and Tell. So this was on the banned list for a long time, but has been freed up for a lot of months now. I think it's almost a year, because it was last year at the Eurochamps in Darmstadt. And the idea is that with your main deck, you are exposing yourself pretty heavy to graveyard hate, because you will have trouble hard casting any of these creatures. I think there is a possibility that it might happen due to the rainbow lands you play, but mostly if your opponent can interact with your graveyard, we are in a tough spot if we are not fast enough. And the great combo I want to point out is the flashback part of the Carbon Therapy. And as I played the deck, I often find myself having the Symbiotic Worm in play, and then immediately sacrifice it to a Carbon Therapy flashback to get 7 insects, and don't expose my worm to a card like Source of Plowshares. And I think this might be a play we will see pretty often here. Besides that, there are some cards in the sideboard. Naturalize, probably against graveyard hate, artifacts or removal. Maybe like Stacks part, like Ensnaring Bridge. 4 Dystopia, which I found pretty heavy. But these are great cards against a variety of strategies and decks. And you even have the ability to pump this out turn 1 or turn 2 with Lotus Petals and Dark Rituals. And 4 Engineered Plague. Great choice against decks like Goblins or Elves. Yeah, I think the sideboard is pretty streamlined. What I'm wondering is that he's not playing any version of Oath of Druids. And I really like the approach of trying the Show and Tell build. I think I've never played with Show and Tell after the unbanning. So pretty hyped to test this deck, to make some games. And again, thank you very much, Celestial Heathen, for making a donation deck list. All right, we are on the play here. So let's see what we got. Pretty strong and disruptive hand, but we need a creature to get this going. Don't forget there is the ability to unmask yourself or to cover therapy yourself. I'm not sure. Probably not. Let's take a mulligan here. Okay, that's way better. So here I want to keep bottom the underground river, and then we start with careful study on Verdant discarding Verdant Force. And regarding on his turn 1 play, we need to decide if we go for Reanimator directly or if we Duress first. Oh, that's great. Okay. Double creature to ditch here. I love Reanimator, so I'm pretty hyped about this. Okay. And reanimate. That's strong. So I think I want to start with Duress here to see if we need to dodge a Sword Approaches or something like this. Pernicious Deed, Living Wish. So probably, I'm not sure. I take the Living Wish here because I want, or could take the Deed. I think it's right to take the Wish here and then reanimate our Verdant Force. Next turn, animate Dead on the Symbiotic Worm, and if he is in a hurry to pop the Pernicious Deed, we get 7 more insects from the Symbiotic Worm. So go for Living Wish here. Let's take a look there, and then we start reanimating. Verdant Force. Sadly not the correct version. The old one is so badass. Okay, this is a pretty solid turn 2, and I'm super happy that I did a mulligan there. Because, yeah, if we didn't draw a creature for several turns, that would be pretty bad. Okay, Pernicious Deed is here. We can use that. Unmask. Okay, not yet. I'm not sure if I want to play a Gemstone Mine or leave some mana up to some cards in hand up for another careful study, because we are not completely secure in this situation. But if we top deck black card, we could unmask there. Tough decision, but I think in this spot we are pretty far ahead. I will play the Gemstone Mine to have the ability to unmask. I mean, there are still combinations where we could lose the game, but we are crashing in for 8 here, turn 3. And we got a lot of scenarios covered. The great thing is that the reanimation targets in the format are pretty fair. I mean, the unfairest thing you can do is probably something like the Worm, Verdant Force, or Chroma. And there are various ways to handle them. Okay, exactly the careful study situation. I don't think I need to play the careful study here. We crash in. Or so if we attack like this, he needs to block. Otherwise we have 13. He can attack with Street of Village next turn, but I'm not scared by that, to be honest. He might pop the Pernicious Deed, do a block here, pop Pernicious Deed to get no damage. And then yeah, cracks the Deed for 2. So no damage. Okay, this is very strong. Yeah, like I meant, there are various ways for us to lose this. So Verdant Force is still a problem for him. He probably cracks the deed now. Okay, 7 insects. Turn 4, pretty solid. Okay, let's see if he cracks. Okay, next turn probably Forest Ravenous Ballad. Not sure if I want to cast Careful Study here. I guess I will. To find more reanimation spells. Okay, get rid of this and that. Okay. He wants to get one more sub-rolling here. Yeah, it's probably a good choice. I mean, he could wait for longer. We are not super secure here, because if he crashes in with the treetop village, we are at 7. Okay, he will... Oh, this is strong. Man, these are draws. Great match. Okay, we need a good top deck here. I think it's worth to cast this and then take the Ravenous Barlord out of his hand to not give him a quick clock. What a game. Never thought that he could recover from this turn 3, but it's the rock doing the rock things. One Ravenous Barlord in hand. No, we got this with Unmask. Okay, 4 turn clock here. We need to find something pretty quick. Exhume, okay. He will get a Ravenous Barlord. I will get... How high are the chances he had another... Or do I take Acroma? Maybe Acroma is the right thing to do. So every symbiotic worm would be best against the Edict effect. I think it's time for Acroma here. Not sure. Write in the comment section what you would have picked. Yeah, Acroma. But this could be very wrong. But on the other hand, if we just return the symbiotic worm and he has an Edict effect, the 7 insects will pretty fast gone against a 4/4 and a 3/3 trample. Okay, man, this was intense. I'm sweating. Okay, the rock. This should be really tough. I think there is an argument for show and tell, because the Living Wish tells me that he has probably access to a card like Withered Wretched. Plus, there are more ways to handle the graveyard. Okay, how aggressive do we need to stay? 3 show and tell. I didn't do much plays or matches with the deck, but my gut feeling would tell me that... I mean, Dystopia could be decent, but I don't think this is the right thing we want to do. But if we don't want it here, where do we want it? I think I want to cut back on Animate That probably. Because they are... If we do not get exactly Symbiotic Worm, they are not great against Naturalize and Pernicious Deed. And Dystopia is bringing me to a decision where I'm anticipating a late game, but I think it's hard to get in the late game against the rock because of the raw power. There are small arguments for me to cutting down on Careful Study to have something against the value-based plan or on Lotus Petals, but I think that's right to try it like this. I mean, Dystopia is a great choice against cards like Solitary Confinement and Warship. But I don't think we need this in this matchup. Okay, that's a decent hand and enough for me to keep. Because we got the turn 1 or 2 Careful Study. He probably has a bird or no bird. Okay, Duress. So I think it's right to lead with this and cast Duress. And next turn, okay, Haunting Echoes. This hand looks really beatable, but so did the first one, and it went almost wrong. Haunting Echoes. Yeah, nice choice. Swamp. Okay. Here's the Exhume. So first thing I want to do, it's not great against Edict effect, but here's 2 unknown cards. So here I want to play Careful Study. Okay, this is tough to decide. So I think it's important. I could go for Duress here or for Unmask. It will both cost me 1 more card in hand. So I think it's right to Duress. Recurring Nightmare and Duress. I'm not sure if we will ever get into a state where Recurring Nightmare will be live, as Duress will get my Unmask, but I'm fine with that. Okay. Let's get the Nightmare here. And the question, I think it's better to Exhume Achroma, because we can dodge a Vendetta then. And the Edict effect is good against Achroma or Phantom Shoba. Okay, Duress on Unmask. Second Reanimation spell would be great. Okay, this is gone. This is gone. Second Achroma, not doing much for us here. But he needs to find an answer for that, and we have various top decks. I mean, it's fine to have this if we draw land plus show and tell. This might be a route. Okay, Living Wish for Withered Wretched, probably, but this won't be enough. Hopefully not Gilded Drake. This would be a horror. But I think that's more a card of recurring survival decks and not the rock. Yeah, Gilded Drake would. Withered Wretched. He takes 1 damage in this part. And he can't exile. So the City of Brass is pretty useless now. Okay. And if we draw Reanimation, we can reanimate. Because he don't have any mana. Okay, City of Brass. I don't want to play this. This is great, because he is at 1 life. City of Brass is inactive, just 1 Wall of Roots in hand. Okay, this is a Wall of Roots. Another one, okay. Yeah, a bit too much walls on his side. We really would lost against any Edict effect, probably. Or maybe not. left with 0 cards in hand. Yeah, what a match. So we are on the play again. Let's take a look what we draw here. Okay, a lot of discard. But now reanimation spell, otherwise we could play discard on ourselves. So I think we need to mulligan here. That's way better. I think I will hold back on the Carver therapy or maybe even ditch it. It could be good in combination with Symbiotic Worm. Tough choice. I think I will ditch the Carver therapy, or I could pitch it to Careful Study. Yeah, get rid of... So if I get rid of Exhume, it would be pretty bad against opposing discard turn 1. But this in the graveyard could be great. So I want to ditch the Animate Dead here. Maybe we draw another Lotus Petal or Reanimate. Then we have to decide if we want to sacrifice Symbiotic Worm to make 7 tokens. Very tough mulligan choices with the deck. I mean, it's pretty strong what you do, but if you misplay it, there are various ways to... Okay, I will ditch Symbiotic Worm and Carver Therapy. And I think it might be right to unmask here. Pitching Carver Therapy. But this is a tough choice. Okay, Duress, Dark Ritual, Hypnotic Spectre. So, do we want to fight? We need to take the Duress here. So we are playing against a Deadguy Ale version. And I want to bring down the Lotus Petal to not run into the potential danger if he draws another discard and goes for Lotus Petal, so that we can't play Exhume for some turns. Okay, probably Hippie plus Dark Ritual, I would be fine with that. And then I need to decide if I want to... But let's see. Great artwork here from Mercadian Mask. All right, we could win against this. Animate Dead. Okay, that's pretty strong. But we can't cast it. So it would be a disaster if he draws Swords to Plowshares. So I think we have to split up. I want to cast Exhume here. And now Carver Therapy. So if he attacks... Yeah, I need to sacrifice this. Otherwise... Okay, Carver Therapy, naming Exalted Angel. And maybe he will keep the Hypnotic Spectre at home. To not lose against the attacking insects. Okay, I think he's doing the math. Need to take this at home. Okay, attack here with 7 insects. And then I probably want to reanimate Exalted Angel. I'm not sure. I mean, we have no way to get rid of the symbiotic worm yet. Plus this would give us life. I think I want to go for reanimate on Exalted Angel to have the ability to block the Expector. Yeah, this is a great use that you can just unmask or cover therapy opposing creature and okay, another City of Brass, man. These draws are real. Okay. He packs it in. I think we went pretty lucky there. Okay, this again will be a game probably where we want to have show and tell. To have another angle to attack. I think we need to face a lot of things like Engineered Plague or maybe Perish. Do I want to trim down on the animate dates? The problem with show and tell is that he has a discard heavy deck and we are playing like, if we have a show and tell, we are playing a 2-card combo. But on the other hand, we will probably see a lot of Withered Wretched and Tormod Script, and the next problem is that you can just lie Angel into this. Very tough to sideboard. So we want to keep this around. We need a density of creatures to do our combo. Maybe not sure about animate that. Because he will probably have a lot of ways to answer this. I want to try it like this. Maybe I will adjust my plan after game 2 if there will be game 3. I have to look up the interaction of Animated and Akoma. I think it stays dead. Yeah. They changed it a while back. Okay. This hand has some issues. Biggest issue is if he starts with a discard spell on Careful Study, we could get stuck pretty badly. So I want to take a mulligan here. Okay, that's way better. I think we can ditch one Akoma here, because they are legendary anyway. If he starts with discard, he needs to decide if he goes for the Careful Study or the Exhume, which is nice for us. Okay, no discard here. We have a Duress. So do we want to lead on Careful Study, hoping to draw something like Reanimate, or... I think it's a bit safer to start with the Duress here. If he has Gerard's Verdict, okay, do we want to Okay, Wasteland is strong here. So I take the Plague. Nice to see the Phyrexian Rager in the list. And hope to lure him into playing Gerard's Verdict. If he does, we reanimate Akuma next turn. And otherwise, we have the Careful Study to... He probably just play Wasteland on this, but then we have various outs. Okay, this was a strong top deck. Taking Exhume, Wasteland. Okay, Tainted Field. He wants to go for Ragers. Symbiotic Worm. I want to cast Careful Study, so we have 3 creatures anyway. We could discard at least one more to Gerard's Verdict. Unmask. Ditch Achroma and Phantomi Shoba. Do I want to bring City of Brass down? Yes. I mean, it's a bit dangerous because he have a more attractive target for his Wasteland now. So Wasteland Gerard's Verdict would be a play, but if we got a reanimation spell, we have this active with Lotus Petal anyway. But these are really tough decisions to make on the deck. I think many people are maybe not aware of this. They're just seeing the games where everything works perfect for the Reanimator side. Yeah, he's really deep in the think tank now. Gerard's Verdict would not be a problem. We would just discard these 2 and hope to get a reanimation spell. Maybe Wasteland is his only land in hand, so he has to decide if he... Okay, Gerard's Verdict is fine for me. Get rid of Worm and Unmask. So don't forget that you don't see Reanimator often in top 8. I think part of this is due to the fact that it's very hard to make decisions. If you make one wrong decision, this might cost you the game. So please give me a reanimation spell. Careful Study. We need to hit exactly Reanimate to make this work. So I think I want to wait a turn longer. If he has another Verdict, this would be brutal, but yeah, another Verdict here. Can't do anything about that. No, I want to play this to have the ability to cast a 2 mana. Reanimation spell. Okay, no 3rd land for him. Dark Ritual, not great. Okay, Ritual into Phyrexian Rager is fine for me. One Rager left in hand. His 3rd land here, Show and Tell. Okay, this is exactly what I meant while sideboarding. No, we are relying heavy on a 2-card combination. But this will give us more outs. Like if we draw any creature, we could Dark Ritual plus Show and Tell. But he might have a response to this. Okay, Phyrexian Rager number 2. That's a clock. Another ritual. Not what we don't want to do here, but we are not giving up. We are still capable of doing broken things. Yeah, combination of Duras, Gerard's Verdict from top plus Wasteland was probably too much. But this would be too much for many decks. Okay, this is sweet. But he could have a Swords to Plowshares, but we have no time to wait. So let's try our best. Ritual. And it's cool that he sees Show and Tell. So if we bring this out in game 3, it's a small mind game on which card he picks from our hand. Okay, we are pretty open to a Edict effect or Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, he got a sword here, and sadly we can't recover from this place because we need 3 mana. He got everything covered with his Wizard Bridged. I mean, if we draw exactly Mana Source, Show and Tell, and Threat, this won't be enough because we are missing black or blue mana then. Okay, this was a strong starting hand plus stronger top decks. Very tough to beat. Okay, Show and Tell should go out. I want to play this. Okay, so I think my learning here is that we need to stay pretty aggressive. Vindicate there, plus Wasteland. Okay, it seems like he's probably on a stronger version than the normal Deadguy Ale deck. Because he has so less dead draws, at least after sideboarding. Yeah, this is tough to beat due to the Swords to Plowshares, various Edict effects, and but next turn we are on the draw, on the play again. So we might be fast enough. Okay, this was too much. But we had our shot with Show and Tell. Want to get rid of these because he's tearing our hand apart, that we can't rely on getting together Show and Tell with a creature. Naturalize against Phyrexian Arena and Engine Plague might be a bit too optimistic that we came into this stage. So a big change I'm noticing with this build is that we don't run any Putrid Imp, which is normally a 4-off in the lists I know. But I think this list was playing the Unmask rather than the Putrid Imp, and as you can target yourself with the Unmask, there is... Okay, that's not bad. I want to keep this. Lead with a Duress. There's a bit much land, but due to the fact that we have Careful Study. Him having Swords to Plowshares and Duress or double Duress, something like this, would be tough to beat. But I will lead with Duress here, play it with a Swamp to not expose my land against the opposing Wasteland. Duress, Engineered Plague, Perish. Let's get rid of the Duress, because this will kill our complete plan we have. Okay, Carbide Therapy is decent. I want to bring down the Underground River here. Pray to find a good creature. Verdant Force. I think we can do this due to the fact that Perish came one turn later. So get rid of this and that. We might run away with a Verdant Force, because we are on the play. But him having a Dark Ritual would be strong. So if he has no play answering anything of this, he will really be in trouble due to the Carbide Therapy. Okay, he might have Swords to Plowshares, Unmask. Let's start with Carbide Therapy U. Naming Perish. This come together pretty nice here. Okay, we got Perish. Then we sacrifice the Saproling to call exactly Engineered Plague. Okay, this deck feels very unfair on occasions. 3 lands left. 2 Caves of Chaos, 1 Wasteland. Bring down the Swamp. Crash in for 8. We still can lose against Swords to Plowshares plus great top decks. But maybe we are on the lucky side this game. Yeah, this was strong turn 3. Okay, great match. All right, on the play again. This seems great. Really want to keep this. The question is how I want to open this. I think it would be best to start with Swamp into Duress to get more information. And next turn, another land drop plus Petal, Careful Study into Animate that. Okay, Crop Rotation or Decree. Let's get the Crop Rotation here, because it could find something like a Core Haven. And we do not need to fear discard here. We need to fear Swords of Plowshares from the top deck, but I think we can't prevent that. Gemstone Mine into Birds. Play Underground River. Maybe we find a better reanimation target. Careful Study. Okay, that's great, but this does not work with Animate Dead. But I want to pitch it anyway. So we really need to hope to draw another reanimation spell. Animate Dead on Phantom Sugar. This takes some turns. And at some point it might be small enough that a Wall of Roots can block it for days. But on the other hand, we will get some life in this exchange. I think from this point on, I don't want to drop any more lands, because I want to keep them for careful study, and 2 mana is enough for the first phase of the game. Symbiotic Worm. There might be a point where I want to hardcast this, but this seems pretty optimistic. So I just attack here, chips the turn back. This will need to go a long way. And this is not a matchup where it's particularly great to gain some life. I think the first Swords Plowshares will set us pretty far behind. Okay, here's 1 unknown card. Or 2 unknown cards. Know about the decree and 1 land, so I will close this. Double white. Maybe True Believer? Academy Rector. That's not great news for me. But I think I still need to attack. I'm not sure what he can search for, but we will see. Maybe something like... So from this core, it seems like he will search for Recurring Nightmare or Survival of the Fittest, but he could have a big surprise. But I don't think it will be better from this on. So I really want to see what we are playing against. Form of the Dragon would be a disaster. Okay. I need to reread this. This is like play with your hand revealed. If you would draw a card, reveal the top card of your library instead. If it's a creature card, put it into your graveyard. Otherwise, draw a card. Whenever a creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return to your hand. Okay, this is part of a combo deck. We would get closer and closer to a Worm. So we would have 4 mana, but it's, again, too optimistic, I guess. Okay. So he could block for a long time. And it's nice that we got the information about his draws. He could make... This is great. Okay, here I really want to assume he will get back a Birds of Paradise. I will get a Chroma. And this might be enough for a win, game 1. Okay. Here I want to attack. We have 11 trample damage. Not enough at this point, but this is a crazy card. Really cool to see it. And the good thing is that he gets this back. So it's like all the creatures you got in play will be there forever. But if you would draw another creature, it will hit the bin immediately. Okay, some soldiers here. Let's see what he draws. Swords to Plowshares would be strong. Okay, Deranged Hermit. Okay, but outside of the combo, it's pretty weak. Because I just realized that if you bin the creature, you don't have a redraw. He can't activate the City of Brass now. Okay, Goblin Bombardment. So this is one part of the combo, and the other should be a 0 mana creature. So not too wrong, a 3-card combo. He could 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think he can't win at the point because he needed the redraw. But okay, we got some tools against this. I think something like Engineered Plague can work if we know what creature he's looping, but that should probably be a Phyrexian Walker or a Shield Sphere. So this won't work. I will get for Naturalize. And what else? I think I can cut Unmask. Maybe it's time for Show and Tell. If we are facing Graveyard Hate. And he does not have any Dystopia is decent, but I think we got that covered with the Naturalize. Yeah, it takes a Show and Tell because I think Akroma is one of the best creatures against this plan. And as Animate Dead can't reanimate Akroma, this might be a better plan here. And we don't get into a situation where he will tear our hand apart. Okay, this might be enough. We just need another mana source and dodge removal, so Graveyard Hate. So we could go Cover Therapy on us and then reanimate, but this seems not great in the face of Graveyard Hate and Swords to Plowshares. Okay, that's a bit better. Not great here, but could be great in a second. Okay, I think I need to bin the Naturalize because his combo needs 3 cards and looked a bit slowish. And we have Duress to get things started. Interrupt with his Swords to Plowshares in the combo. Okay, we got this one. Yeah, and he packs it in. Okay, we are on the draw here, but I think it's a fine hand. Double Dark Ritual might be too much, but we can bin this with careful study. The only thing we need to get is a reanimation spell. So we could discard these two. I think it's decent enough. Hopefully not a turn 1 Goblin Lackey. This could be a disaster. Jackal Pup, okay, burn. We got something against this. And this from top is great. I want to lead with a Gemstone Mine here to not expose myself too much to the damage of the City of Brass. Okay, careful study. I want to bin these two. And I think I wait 1 turn. So it's probably Sligh, but so next turn we can cast a second careful study and then we have some things to do. Okay, I think as long as we reanimate the Phantomi Shoba, and it seems like he was missing land drop 2. So next turn there won't be a Sulfuric Vortex. We should be in a fine condition, but if we brick for some turns, another careful study, let's bin these two. I think then I want to play City of Brass, careful study. Now I need a reanimation spell, I guess. Okay, here we got the reanimate, cover therapy. I think I want to bin City of Brass and Dark Ritual. Now we lead with the Lotus Petal, so it will get us some damage, but as long as we can dodge Sulfuric Vortex, crack that for 3 mana, it's start here. Naming Sulfuric Vortex. Of course, we need at least 2 swings with the Phantomi Shoba. Okay, double Fire Blast, Incinerate, Lightning Bolt. So now we need to decide what's the best creature. I mean, Akroma is a 4-turn clock, and we will go to... Yeah, we need to get Phantomi Shoba. This will hurt at first. Now we have 0 cards in hand, but I think due to he stumbled on his mana turn 2, and if he stumbles one more turn, and he can't get rid of this with 7 damage, because the damage is prevented. He can't keep this around, I guess. Okay, he will. Another reanimation spell, like Animate That, something would be great. Okay, this was nice. Not sure if I need to bring something in. Naturalize might be good, but what do I want to cut? Maybe Unmask again, but Unmask is allowing us some pretty fast turns. I think Show and Tell is too slow. I'm not really sure. Let me bring in 1 Naturalize and cut 1 Unmask. Or I think we should stay more aggressive than the Sligh player. So I want to keep exactly the 60 cards. Okay, this hand is missing a mana source and a creature, so we need to take a mulligan. Okay, this is better, but not great. I need to keep this. Ship 1 Kabar Therapy. Problem again is that Animate That can't reanimate Akroma. Okay, hopefully the Duress will have a good hit. Okay, City of Brass. So here's the argument to bring City down, because we need mana more often, but I really want to save on life here. Okay, Price of Progress. Or the Red Blast. I think we could play around the Red Blast pretty well. So I want to ditch the Price of Progress here. And then we ship the turn back. So there might be a cool top deck like Exhume or Reanimate. Then we could go Cover Therapy on us, discarding Akroma and Reanimate it. It will be a tough damage race then, because we will go down with a Reanimate, but let's see what we draw. Not think too much here. Okay, another Duress is fine. Again, I need to think if I want to... I think we are pretty close, so I take the Duress here, targeting him. Take another Price of Progress. Bring City into play, and I still want to with Cover Therapy. So he has Red Elemental Blast plus Mock Fanatic. Needs to pay Echo on this Summoner line. Okay, now he has to decide if he wants to bring Mock Fanatic down. Okay, but these creatures are... Okay, we could bring in Engineered Plague for Goblin, but I think it's not the right thing to do. Okay, Mountain, so we have to fight 1 Red Blast. Another Animate That. That's not great. I mean, any other reanimation target would be great, but it's like Of course, this will be detached from the Acroma. It will die immediately. Okay, reanimate. But this won't work because he has a damage. We go to 8. So here we have lost. But just to showcase you that how the part with Acroma is working, it's like carb therapy on me. So this is my last update from the rules. That if the animate dead gets detached, that price of progress maybe? Okay, Fire Blast. I think he don't know I target myself. Acroma, Angel of Wrath. And even if this would work, we won't be fast enough. But just to take a look how Modo will behave on this. Okay, seeing the Red Blast is taking my last argument away from playing card like Show and Tell. So this will reanimate the Acroma. It will enter the battlefield detached and will be lost. So exactly what I've read about it. Okay, this was due to Acroma. Without her, it would have been a pretty good game because we had everything with some interruption. Okay, do I want to do something different? No. We stay aggressive here. We just have 3 or 2 Red Blast for our careful studies. But I think if we are fast enough with the reanimation, it does not matter really which creature we got. This might be a bit too slow, but I want to try it. Because I don't know if it will get better, and I'm attacking for 7 next turn, so unmask myself by pitching Axiom, discarding Verdant Force, play Lotus Petal, reanimate my Verdant Force, so we go to 12 turn 1. We are really helping him here. But from now we are attacking for 8 next turn, 10 the turn after if he does not have interaction. Plus the Carb Therapy could help us tearing his hand apart. Okay, this could block later. The problem is that he needs to drop creatures to deploy blockers for that. Okay, this is great. So what are we scared of? First we attack. Okay, I think I want to name Lightning Bolt because it's the most efficient card from the burn deck. Yeah, we got 1 Lightning Bolt. Okay. Next turn he just has 2 mana. So we don't need to... We could do 4, 5, 6, but we are crashing in for a lot. So I think it's better to keep the pressure on the board. Next turn after attacking, I want to flashback the Carb Therapy. I think he's on blocking duty with the Grim Lavamancer. Really loves this deck. It's pretty strong, but I think it has a fair interaction point. You are never super broken, so even our start here could have been wasted by Swords to Plowshares, not from Sligh, obviously, but Sligh on his own often kills quicker than us. He dropped this. Let's see if he blocks. There's a small argument for me playing Reanimate on the Grim Lavamancer. But I want to see how he behaves. Okay, Unmask is great, not going to lie. So he will go to 8, and then he needs a blocker. Okay, I think we have lethal next turn, even with the or through the combination of discard. Unmask is impressive. I got some of these. I don't think much stuff is missing for the reanimation deck. I just have 1 copy of Acroma, and I think 1 copy of Burden Force. So I need to stock up on that. Okay, he goes on 1. He's trying to take me to 10. So I start with the Unmask here and want to see how he will behave in response. Lightning Bolt phase, we go to 9. He might make 6 more damage, but then we are winning in any case. I think he's thinking about playing Lightning Blast, but this won't be enough. Fire Blast. Turn 3. Yeah. These decks are fast against each other. We go to 3. Okay. Now it's important that we don't take Lava Dart. Otherwise, if he draws a mountain, he can make 2 damage with the Lavamancer and exile the Lava Dart. So here I want to take Sulfuric Vortex. And I think we won. Because he can either draw a card or Lightning Bolt. There is no argument of flashing back Cover Therapy now. Because we know about Vortex and Lava Dart. Yeah, well played from opponent. Because if we have taken the Lava Dart or Flashback to take everything, we could have lost if he draws exactly Mountain. I think this is a decent starting hand. Because we could make turn 2 Burden Force or Chroma. Don't know what our opponent plays, but okay, this makes the hand a lot better. I want to lead with City of Brass. Careful study. Okay, pitching. Okay, that's hard to tell what we need to do. We got some Exhume. I want to ditch the Worm and Acroma, I guess. Question is, do I want to cover Therapy now for something like Meddling Mage? All sorts of closures? Or do I want to wait a second? I try to go here. Want to get more information. Or do I want to wait? I wait a second. Maybe he could have counter magic. So if he just plays another Rainbow Land and chips a turn. Yeah, I need to see. Then it's probably right to... Okay, another Rainbow Land. Probably on his 5-color list again. So let's kick things off with the first Cabal therapy here. We will absolutely name Counterspell. Because this could interact with our combo. No Counterspell, but he got Swords to Plowshares. But we got this covered. I mean, the Exalted Angel can be a problem later. Okay, so I need to play Exhume now for Symbiotic Worm. Ah, this was a nice response. Mental note, in case if he mills a own creature. So we got the Symbiotic Worm. We got priority again. So here I want to cast Cabal Therapy. But the question is, what do I want to take here? Okay. So the Angel could be a problem, but if he lands the Angel, he needs to bounce Undiscovered Paradise next turn. So I think it's best to take either Swords to Plowshares or Vindicate. Swords to Plowshares. If he plays Gerard's Verdict next turn, that would be great for us. Of course, we could ditch the Cabal Therapy and Verdant Force. Okay, what has he left? These cards. Okay, this was a insane turn too. Okay, Tron Query. And the Angel. Okay, another Exhume is great. So he needs to bounce this. Means he won't be fast enough. Here I want to bring in Achroma to apply a lot of pressure. And attack with all. He blocks one insect, we crash in for 12. And now he got problems. Yeah, unfair turn 3. Not going to lie. Okay, really doing some work. Man, I love this deck. Maybe I need to buy the missing cards. Okay, again, I think we are pretty well suited. Don't think we need anything more from the sideboard. So Dystopia could work against Meddling Mages, but we are so well. Maybe Show and Tell if he's on Graveyard Removal, but he needs to have the Graveyard Removal. Yeah, I want to play it again like this. Because if he has a Graveyard Removal, or the problem with Show and Tell is that he just could lie down an Exalted Angel, answer our threat, and win from there. Okay, that's not great. I might keep this, because I have many enablers, but my turn 1 could be to draw card number 8, go to discard. I think I will try it. This is one of the more sketchy hands I've kept. Okay. I go to discard here. The great thing is that we got another thread. So even if we are losing one land drop here, we still got mana. Okay. I want to bait out a counterspell. Okay, this is perfect. Exactly what we want. If he has no swords to plowshares yet, this could end up pretty quickly because he went to 18 through the double blue, meaning Akroma is a 3-turn clock. Even if Akroma does not stay along forever, we still have a follow-up Phantom Nishoba if we can bring it to the bin somehow. Okay, thumbs are pressed. He might play a bit with us if he has something like Fire Ice. And for this kind of matchup, I really would love some copies of Ishin's Shade. I've seen a lot from Reanimator. And this is giving me nightmares if I'm playing it on my own. Okay. This will get him deeper to Swords to Plowshares, but if he does not have Swords or Fire and Ice in his top 3, he's pretty done. Would have been a great spot that if he milled something with Mental Note that reanimates this. I mean, he could stabilize from this point by having Swords to Plowshares and then Exalted Angel. But it felt really great to take the 8 card there and go into discard. Okay, not conceding here means he has something to do. Meddling Mage. Okay, take a lot damage in this. If he goes for Swords to Plowshares, he will be at 3. It's not a huge problem for him, because he's probably naming the blue card, which can counter, okay, Karma Therapy. Let's see. Another Reanimate. Do you have the sword or not? Okay. No sword. Great match. Very fast. Alright, we are on the draw. It's a great hand again, because we can unmask ourselves and then have turn 1 Verdant Force. We would break pretty badly against Swords to Plowshares or discard, but I really want to keep this explosive hand. Okay, he fetches, so it's probably a blue-white weenie list. Mother of Runes, okay. Mana would be great here. Another Animate Dead. So the great thing is I can start with Lotus Petal. And then I crack this for 3 black mana. Duress, my opponent. Okay, we got the sword here. Waterfront Bouncer is a problem. Yeah, it really is a problem. But I think we still need to do it. Yeah, and hope to... I'm not sure. Waterfront Bouncer is strong. But we got the mana in the pool now. We could unmask him for Waterfront Bouncer, but this wouldn't be advance our board. So I want to go for it. Not feeling great, but due to the fact that Animate Dead can not get Akroma, yeah, we are pretty all in here. We see the writing on the wall with the opposing Waterfront Bouncer. But till this point we will get at least 3 Zapolings. Plus he needs to spend a card from his hand. We could try to rebuild, but it's hard to win against Waterfront Bouncer. We attack here. But this could have worked out pretty well. Yeah, the bad thing is that he can block without any problem, because he's not facing any kind of removal from my side. But I think it was still an impressive turn 1. Having one direction here. Okay, he should bounce this. Okay, Cabal Therapy. Not enough here, so I want to ship the turn back. It's not over, because he has no clock. Seeing this Merfolk Looter is giving me the question if he's on something like Squeegeddon Naboo or Call of the Herd. This is sweet. Like Band Armageddon. Okay, he might give protection green, but I'm fine with getting 1 damage here. I need some lands to rebuild. So this is the first part to do. There is probably no need to play Cabal Therapy right now. Okay, how can we manage to win? I think it would be a combination of Verdant Force, flashbacking Cabal Therapy to go white, but then even then he's on 17, has a good blocker for my ground creatures, and can bounce 1 creature each turn. Okay, we need some amount of Engineered Plague. There, he has a quick cloak with the elephant. Okay, don't want to block. He's pretty small as a 1/1 for the muscles he have. Okay. Furious, 4 for bid. Oh, 2 for bid. This would have been a great Cabal Therapy. Ships a turn. I think he might start giving protection green and then attack. Okay, we know about 1 for bid. Really nice list. Never saw. Okay, so I go like this and that. Then he will give protection green to the Waterfront Bouncer. So I let this be. I need to prevent 3 damage each turn with it. Okay, due to the fact that he had a lot of discard spells, I'm really thinking about him playing some amount of Squeegeddon Naboo. But pitching a card with flashback to this is great. Okay, forbid. It's fine for me. Flips a turn. He still needs to bring some damage in. Okay, we got Merfolk. So Merfolk would be a card to name with Engineered Plague. I think we need to bring in the playset to prevent exactly him having the Waterfront Bouncer, because this is giving us nightmares. Okay, I want to get more information about his deck. So I will cast Cabal Therapy, naming Swords to Plowshares here. We can't win this game anymore, but I want to gather as much information as possible to be well suited for game 2 and 3. Okay, we need something with protection blue. So I don't know, there is the Angel in the format which has protection from all colors. It's a 4/4 flying. I'm seeing a small argument. It's a corner case to lose against Waterfront Bouncer. Yeah, maybe with this knowledge I needed to go for Waterfront Bouncer. Even if that means I couldn't reanimate something turn 1. Careful study is a fine thing to do. Okay, I once again want to look at his hand. Yeah, this is just for gathering information. Maybe to see one more land like Heathen or something. Okay, the Squeegeddon Naboo. This is a beautiful build. Winter Orb, Armageddons, fair, tough small creatures with great abilities. Never saw a deck like this. Because even you are going pretty strong or threshold-like with a bundless. Okay, one last information for me here. Calling for bit. And then we pack it in. Great game. Waterfront Bouncers, strong one. Okay. Armageddon is not anything I fear. Man, Dystopia is great. But I'm not sure how much we can support. Okay, 8 cards is probably too much. What can we cut down? I mean, we still have to fight counterspells and Swords to Plowshares. So we can't say just ditch all discard spells. There's a small argument for cutting back on fast mana, but I'm not sure how well this deck performs without fast mana. And I really dislike this Dystopia is getting rid of my own creatures. Engineered Plague, 3 of. Probably want another Dark Ritual. And I think I tried like this. But I'm really insecure about this boarding. So again, I need your feedback on this. Okay, we are on the play. This is sadly not keepable. Because if we would be on the draw, I think I would try again the same plan of drawing card number 8 and go to discard. Okay, this is fine. The problem is we need to, if we could keep all of this would be great. So we really need to decide if we want to have turn 1 Verdant Force or turn 1 Akoma. We need probably, we could probably get rid of, and that's tough. So if we play Verdant Force and he has turn 1 Mother, he can just block the 7 damage. So I think we really need to go all in here. Discard, put Verdant Force on bottom. Not feeling great, but this is one of the games where if he has turn 1 exactly Swords to Plowshares, we are in a bad state, but I don't see a combination of cards which would make our situation way better. And it's like with Goblin Lackey. Sometimes they don't have the answer to turn 1 Akoma, and we win like this. The Symbiotic Worm would have been best. Okay, Exhume on Akoma, so we can cast Reanimate later. But that's still a 4-turn clock. Thumbs are pressed. Okay, he could have Chain of Vapor. Duress, that's fine. I want to attack here first. Okay, 8 life. Cast Duress. Gush and Call also hurt. Again, he has Waterfront Bouncer. But I don't know. So discard Gush. He plays Waterfront Bouncer, goes... Okay, question is, I could flashback Cabal Therapy on him, naming Waterfront Bouncer, but then he can play Meddling Mage, naming Reanimate, because he knows about this. So that's not a good strategy. Okay, again Waterfront Bouncer, man. This guy giving me trouble. Swamp. Okay, let me think about this. Yeah, he goes to 1. I was thinking about a scenario where I could sacrifice this to reanimate it in Dechtech, but he could just keep his mana up or still play Meddling Mage. Okay, what can we do now? We need probably something like Careful Study to draw a Symbiotic Worm. I think this would be the best draw. It's fine that 2 Flooded Strands on his side are deactivated. But okay, he can't follow up with Meddling Mage. And we are doing some pressure to his cards in hand. This is nice. He needs exactly untapped blue mana source to have bounce plus. Oh, what a game. Okay, unmask. Problem is that he can bounce in combat. Otherwise we could this won't work. Okay, I want to see the bounce. Then begin combat. Sadly, our cards are not instant. Our reanimation. He kept the Flooded Strand in hand to have more discard spells for this. So we are really relying on Symbiotic Worm now. Okay, if he attacks with this, he will probably go for Meddling Mage, but this is... Okay, Phantomly Showa. This would be way too greedy. Okay. We are really close to an Infinite Plague now. He's really relying on a damageless mana source. Okay, Meddling Mage on Reanimate. It's not the end of the world. Cabal Therapy. I might need to keep it for a bit longer. Okay, here's a clock now. So if we got reanimation spell like Exhume, he would be dead. Okay, what do we want to do here? I need to wait a bit longer with Cabal Therapy because I might play it on my own. He's chipping in 2 damage turn, which should not be enough. Okay, still need Careful Study. But we got plenty of time left. He needs to go to discard. Here's Exhume. So what's my plan? So no, it won't work that we just exhume a creature because he could bounce again. But we are setting up for a huge blowout here. as soon as he taps his blue mana, or we are... So we can even cast Unmask before. Another Phantomi Shoba, ships a turn. Man, Waterford Bouncer's hard. Really need Engineered Plague now. But it's a cool match to play. He is out of mana sources, cause he's at 1 life. He needs exactly something like... Okay, this is good. Another Waterfront Bouncer. So now, fingers crossed for Engineered Plague. Lotus Petal, not great. But I want to cast this. Okay, we'll probably start attacking for 3 now a turn, which will change the clock. Okay, we have a lot of good draws. That's great, because it's a card advantage machine for him. Naturalize now would be nice. Naturalize on Mox Diamond. Oh, here's a Plague. Okay. How? I think I need to do Unmask on him. Okay, maybe we need to win this in 2 steps. Because we can't do Engineered Plague, Carbon Therapy plus Reanimation. Here I want to get something like Swords to Plowshares, probably. Oh, what is this? Mox Diamond, Disenchant, Gush, Call of the Herd. Okay, what to do? Okay, we need to take 4 bit here. And he's left with Call of the Herd. With these 5 cards in hand. I really need to think about this now. So I lose this or I lose that. I think it's right to do it like this. Okay, not on human. We need to name Merfolk. This would be a huge error. It's nice that we get his board wiped almost completely. And next turn I want to cast Cabal Therapy on my own plus Exhume. But the problem then is that he can... Yeah, I need to take Akroma then. Because otherwise he will just... Okay, he will have a Gush now. So Armageddon would be a good draw. Or Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, we need to see what happens. Looks like... Okay, Disenchant here. So him having Swords to Plowshares would probably lose us a game. Could have counter spell. Okay, Waterfront Bouncer. Nice. Man, that's a lot of bouncers. But I'm pretty hyped. If he has no free counter spell like Foil, I think we win if I did the math correctly. Okay, let's don't misplace this. Carbon Therapy on my own. Akroma, Angel of Wrath. Exhume. Hope that we dodge Swords to Plowshares. Okay, his 2 islands in hand. Squeegeddon Naboo and Call of the Herd. The sword, no! What's about Squeegeddon Naboo and Call of the Herd plus 2 islands? Ah, he replayed 1 island, okay. Yeah, exactly 1 card, 1 unknown card. And now he's got the bouncers active again. Another Phantom Shoba. Animate Dead is not enough here. Of course, he can just bounce the target, but I will try my best here to animate Merfolk-Looter. And if he does not bounce immediately, the Merfolk-Looter, we might draw into Acroma plus Reanimate next turn. Okay, he bounce here, and then we are pretty done. Yeah, exactly thought was the thing. But this wouldn't make a difference. So even if I know about 1 unknown card, I needed to play it like this, exactly. Dying with 3 Phantom Showa in hand feels bad. Okay, Swamp. I think there is no chance to win this. It takes for 6 now, and we are done. Let's get him the lethal damage in with his sweet deck. Yeah, great match. Really love it. Okay, welcome back to the deck check. And man, what an amazing run. 5-1, and even with a pretty close game there at the end in the 6th round. And I'm super hyped about this deck, not going to lie. So thank you very much again, Celestial Heathen, for making a donation deck list with Reanimator. I haven't had a lot of fun in the format for a long time. We had so cool and strong plays and games, but it was never super broken, as you saw in the last round. 2 mana coming just gave us nightmares. And as I doing this after the donation decks, I want to give some feedback to some improvements, but I have to say here it will be really tough to give some feedback because the deck is built very well and it was so strong. There are just one thing for me that did not work out well, and this was the playset of 4 Dystopia. So I would be really interested why it was built like that. The biggest problem for me was that you need to sacrifice your creatures if you get the Dystopia down. So I think it's probably an out to enchantments, but due to the fact that we got naturalized, it's pretty... I think it's too much. So here I need some feedback why there are 4 Dystopia. Show and Tell is a nice card. It was not super broken in any match as we saw. So if I want to play this deck again, and I think it's a very sweet 75 you've chosen there, I would try the Putrid Imp just to get more knowledge of it. But the Unmask was pretty impressive. As you saw, many turn 1 reanimations because you can target yourself with that. Otherwise, I think the main deck is pretty well set in stone. What I was thinking about is, yeah, trying Putrid Imp. We got some pretty awkward situation with Acroma and Animate Dead. And I want to test the Angel in the sideboard, which has protection from all colors. To have something against a card like Waterfront Bouncer or another variety of threats, I want to test the Ishan's Shade, which is a 5/5, which has a protection from white. I think it's from Homelands, so one of the playable cards from Homelands. Let's take a quick look here. And I mean, you don't have to play the most unfair version of any deck if you're going to tournaments or FNMs or something like this. But I think the Oath of Druids is a bit more versatile in the sideboard than the Show and Tell. I would be really interested if you have experience with that. But besides that, I'm super happy with the deck and with the games. I think sideboarding is often a question about your meta game. The decks sometimes run Multani Maro Sorcerer, which could be a great addition. They run something like Crater Helion or Havoc Demon, which you can play. Yeah, but besides that, some card I found online was Intervene. For 1 blue, it's an instant where you can counter target spell that targets a creature. This could be a nice addition. I can't find the Ishan's Shade here, so I need to look this up. But yeah, great and very strong deck. You saw I wasn't experienced, and I've managed to make a 5-1 with a pretty close game there. So here we got the Ishan's Shade. 6 mana, 5/5, protection from white. But there might the Angel be better. Let's take a quick look if we can find it. But the Ishan's Shade is just a card for the sideboard. So maybe put 1 Ishan's Shade here. Often 1 are not enough, because you don't have a card like Entomb to find it. It's banned in the format. You could play Buried Alive, but it's a bit slowish, I guess. And yeah, thank you very much for the donation again. Thanks for watching. If you want to make a donation decklist on your own, I will send you a description, and hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.